Sounds good.
Okay, so first, Coach, do you know what changed between fall and spring semester to allow like wrestling and other sports to start competing again?
Well, do I know? I know that we were all kind of on hold and waiting for the word from the athletic directors and the chancellors to make that call on first having being able to practice and then being able to compete and have a winter sports season for wrestling, for basketball, for swim and dive, for everything. And when that chancellor's announcement came out, that was pretty exciting for all of us.
Okay, great. And how did the team sort of operate last semester?
Um, well, it was pretty structured, right? Pretty detailed. Like you can ask Jake and Tristan about that. They had testing to do, and then once they got a negative test, then they had. Well, when we first started, it was basically solo, so they would go in there and work out on their own, and then they were assigned a partner. I remember these guys. You guys remember when we started? You had a partner for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Uh, so they had the same guy for 2 weeks. And eventually, with our protocols and testing and temperature taking and all the things that we were doing, it eventually opened up a little bit so that we could, expand to having more partners in the room and we function in pods, so we always have a group of wrestlers that's all they do is wrestle each other. So if we would have we would have an issue with COVID, then we would know exactly where to go. It would never be a situation where you would shut down a whole team or a big group, because we're just really restricted on who has contact with who.
Okay. And was that just like the way things were? Did you feel like it was kind of a drag?
Um, you know, it was a drag, but I think we chose to not look at it that way. I think we kept our eye on being, really grateful for the opportunity and thankful that we were allowed to do it. There's a lot of places that could not do it or would not do it, and so we changed I think on the coaching side, we changed our fall quite a bit as far as what we did and how we ran practice and the things that we developed and as I think now, it feels like a wrestling season right now. It feels like where guys are at, and I know that cutting weight feels real for them. I know that getting ready for competition and having those feelings going on and that excitement, I know that's a real feeling right now. So it's just been I guess a progression, Miles. I think it's something that we never looked too far ahead. We didn't try to answer questions that we didn't have the answers to. Um, we printed out a sheet that had September on it, then October on it, and we kind of worked that way. And here we are. We're 2 days away from wrestling our first competition. So it's been pretty long progression, but very exciting.
Yeah. So what was kind of hard for you and maybe for the athletes as well, just about the way that last semester went?
Getting used to protocols was one. I think as a coach, some of the things that you're trying to develop a team, right? You're trying to, I've always had that be one of my biggest philosophies is I want to develop a really strong, close knit team with a lot of camaraderie, guys that are brothers, and the words we use like quarantine and isolation and distance and all those words are not real easy to develop, you know, team building. So that was a frustration and a challenge. But it also led to an opportunity in other areas, like an opportunity for team leaders and guys to really take that on their shoulders and work with small groups and develop that camaraderie, with what they were doing. And so I think that was the biggest one, the loss of competitions, the things that you miss doing, or the things that you really look forward to. There's a number of competitions, our team trip, I think that's always a highlight of our year, is when we go and travel for an extended period of time, and all those things that you miss out on, but
Yeah.
I think got to get used to doing what you got to do to be able to do what you love. And I'm really impressed with our group on how they handled it.
Yeah, that's well said. And then what do practice and meets look like now compared to normal?
Well, we'll know on Thursday. I mean, wrestling's wrestling. They're going to blow a whistle. There's going to be a referee. They're going to keep score. They're going to make weight. Right, Tristan? Going to make weight. Going to score some points, right? Jake, going to score some points. Wrestling's wrestling. What it'll look like off the mat, it'll be, no fans, no bleachers. Everybody that's in there will be wearing a mask. It'll be different, but as far as what happens on the wrestling mat, there's absolutely no difference.
Okay.
And that's how I feel about practice right now. I really, our coaches are coaching their tails off right now. They're putting a lot of good things together, from Zach Ruck and strength and conditioning to, Elroy and Justin and Matt and those guys that are doing the things in our practice room. I think it feels right now how it felt last year. It's just really condensed.
Yeah. So do you feel like you're playing a lot of catch up then?
I don't. I don't feel like. I feel like we did a lot of teaching in the first semester that went really well, and our guys picked up things pretty quickly. So, our practice, for example, practice last night is about an hour and 40 minutes long last night. And it clipped along at a pace that would have been similar to what we did last year. So I don't feel like we're playing catch up. I just know that we're what we usually know at this time of year. Usually we know how guys compete, what they need to work on, what our starting lineup looks like exactly. And this year we haven't had a chance to do that. So we're looking forward to it, being able to step on the mat against somebody else. We've been saying this a while here that we started in October, with the real structured, limited practices, but all these guys have wrestled for 4 months as each other. So it'll be a good feeling to suit up and fight somebody else.
Yeah, absolutely. I've got no further questions for you, Coach, but
Okay.
I do have some questions for the other guys.
Awesome.
So Tristan, can you sort of describe a little bit team morale right now? Like, are the guys pretty excited, nervous about going back into this again?
Yeah, I think we're all really excited. It's been too long since we've competed, so we're all really looking forward to getting on the mat with somebody else and going out there and battling.
Mm-hmm. And how does it feel to be like back on the mat again and competing?
It feels great. Yeah, like I'm super excited for this Thursday. Through this winter, I started to feel more like myself again on the mat. Getting back into it, getting my lungs going, and feeling the conditioning, feeling strong again. So.
Mm-hmm. And I guess, what did you sort of miss or feel like was not great about the way things were the last semester?
I miss just being able to call up somebody and say, "Hey, let's go wrestle," or grabbing whoever I want after practice and asking them to go some live goes or whatever. You're restricted to a number of people, which For the most part, my partner's been super good about like staying after and stuff. But yeah, I just miss the freedom, I guess.
Okay. Couple questions for Jake. After having all this sort of time to, I guess, be more team centered and not competing, do you feel prepared?
Yeah, I mean, I think that especially our program, we've had the opportunity to practice this whole last month, getting in 2 workouts a day. Everybody's showing up, everybody's there, and I think that everybody's really excited to compete and show what we've been working on, because we've been working hard, and everybody's been doing their part. So I think we definitely feel prepared and are excited to compete on Thursday.
Great. And how comfortable do you feel competing during the pandemic?
I feel, very comfortable. I think that all the protocols are put into place, and we're getting tested, 4 times a week, getting tested on competition day. And I think that, everything that can be done to make it as safe as possible is being done. So definitely feel comfortable.
Okay. And was not competing before, and you were still able to sort of wrestle with the team, but was last semester fulfilling enough, or did you have things that you missed?
Yeah, I mean, it definitely sucked not being able to compete. We're putting in all this hard work in the room, and then obviously, the reward to doing that is competition and getting to wrestle other teams, win tournaments, win duels, and not being able to do that was definitely hard. But I think, for the most part, everybody had the mentality of using that time to, improve on areas where they need to improve on, and just get better and prepare for when we get the opportunity to compete. And now that it's here, I think that, it's exciting for sure.
Great. I'm happy for you guys. I have no further questions.
Hey, Miles, I'm just gonna add something to you to Jake's answer, whether you want it or not, I guess. But I think it's interesting is that Jake's last match or last tournament was at the NCAA tournament last year.
Mhm.
And he was getting ready he was warming up and getting ready we were down at the NCAA tournament when they made the announcement that there was not going to be a tournament, that they were going to cancel it. So dealing with that, a disappointment coming all the way to this point where, the NCAA has given these guys a chance, and our school and everybody's provided this opportunity. And it's a year that doesn't, in a sense, it gives you another chance, or a free chance, an extra chance. I think that adds to the feeling that Jake and a lot of wrestlers, a lot of student athletes feel right now, is that it's just really, really great to be able to come back.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
Thank
I'll pose this question for all three of you. Without the ability to have the WIAC championship this year, going straight from conference play, jumping into regionals, does that change your preparation for the year, or the message from you, Coach Fader?
I don't believe so. I think you focus on yourselves. You focus on the things that you can control. You can't control all the decisions that are being made. You're grateful if you get the opportunity, right? If we get this chance, take advantage of it. Take advantage of Thursday. Take advantage of our dual meets against our conference opponents. Take advantage of having the regional tournament here in UW-Eau Claire, and I feel like that's the biggest message, or the biggest thing that we all gain from it, is that you're promised nothing, and when you get an opportunity, be ready for it and take advantage of it, and we've been preparing in that way.
Tristan, Jake, either of you want to comment or add to what Coach Fader said?
Yeah, I mean, I think that he definitely described it really well, and yeah, I think that he summed it up pretty good.
Yeah, I agree. Doesn't really change a whole lot with our training or preparation or anything. We're just doing what we do.
Awesome. Miles, anything else?
Nope, that's it from me.